Most people live lives handed to them by society, family, or circumstance. But the few who rise above mediocrity are those who design their lives, rather than merely accepting them. Let me share something with you that I believe could change the course of your life. It's about clarity. You see, one of the great tragedies in life is to spend years climbing a ladder only to discover it's leaning against the wrong wall. And the reason so many people find themselves in that situation is simple. They never stop to ask, what do I truly want? Most of us are caught up in what others expect of us. We take the path our parents think is best, or the one our teachers recommend, or even the one that society quietly whispers is respectable. And without realizing it, we start living by someone else's design. Now, here's the truth. You can spend your whole life trying to meet those expectations, but at the end of the day, if you never ask yourself what resonates with you, you'll never find that deep sense of fulfillment we all crave. Clarity creates direction. Imagine driving a car without a destination. You might enjoy the ride for a little while, but soon you'll run out of fuel, and you'll be stranded somewhere with no idea where you're supposed to be going. Life works the same way. Without clarity, you drift. You get pushed by the current of other people's opinions, their judgments, their plans for you. But when you stop, take a deep breath and say, wait a minute, what do I really want? That's the moment you begin to take control of your life. Now, clarity doesn't come overnight. It's not something you get by sitting under a tree for an hour and waiting for inspiration. It takes reflection. It takes asking tough questions. You've got to dig deep. What brings you alive? What makes you lose track of time? What values are so important to you that you're willing to stand for them even when it's inconvenient? That's where clarity begins. By identifying what matters most to you, not what matters most to everyone else. When I was younger, I thought success was just about money. I thought if I could just earn enough, that would be it. But here's what I learned. Money is wonderful, but it's only one part of the equation. If your ladder is leaning against a wall that doesn't belong to you, all the money in the world won't fix the emptiness you feel. What matters is whether your efforts are aligned with your own vision, your own sense of purpose. Otherwise, you'll work hard, you'll achieve some things, but at night you'll still wonder, is this all there is? So let me give you an exercise. Take out a sheet of paper and write down what you want in the major areas of your life. What do you want in terms of health? What do you want in terms of relationships? What do you want financially? What kind of person do you want to become? And don't just write what sounds good or what others would approve of. Be honest. If what you want is freedom, write it down. If what you want is creativity, write it down. If what you want is contribution, put it on paper. There's something powerful about seeing it in black and white. It takes the dream out of your head and begins to shape it into something you can pursue. And once you're clear, life gets a whole lot easier. Decisions that once felt heavy suddenly become lighter. You no longer ask, should I do this because it's expected? Instead, you ask, does this move me closer to my vision? That question alone will save you years of wasted effort. Clarity acts like a filter. It helps you separate the opportunities that are right for you from the distractions that look good but don't serve your design. Now, don't confuse clarity with perfection. You don't have to know every step. You don't have to have the whole road mapped out. All you need is enough clarity to take the next step with confidence. Once you move, the next step will reveal itself. Think of it like driving at night. You can only see as far as your headlights, but that's enough to get you all the way home. The danger is drifting. The danger is letting days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years without ever pausing to check if you're on the right path. One day you wake up, and you're 40 or 50 years old and you realize you've been living someone else's life. Don't let that happen. Decide now to stop drifting and start designing. So here's my challenge to you tonight. Take 15 minutes for yourself. No phone, no distractions, no television. Just you, a notebook, and an honest conversation with yourself. Ask, what do I truly want? Write it down. Don't edit it. Don't judge it. Just let it come out. Because clarity is the first step toward freedom. And once you have it, the world stops pushing you around. You're no longer a passenger. You're the driver. And when you drive with clarity, you don't just accept a life, you design it. Let me tell you something I've learned after many years of observing people in every walk of life. You can achieve incredible success on the outside, money, recognition, even fame, and still feel empty on the inside if your choices aren't rooted in your core values. You see, values are the compass of your life design. They're the inner principles that guide you, the truths that keep you steady when the storms of life come. And without them, even the greatest achievements lose their meaning. Think about it. How many stories have we heard of people who had it all, wealth, influence, opportunities, and yet they were restless, unhappy, sometimes even self-destructive? Why does that happen? It's because they ignored their core values in the pursuit of success. They chased what the world told them was important and forgot what was important to them. And the result, achievement without fulfillment. That's the ultimate failure. Now, defining your values isn't something to take lightly. It's not about what sounds nice on a motivational poster. It's about asking what matters so deeply to me that if I lost everything else, I'd still want to hold on to this. For some, it's freedom, the ability to live on their own terms. For others, it's growth, the constant pursuit of learning and becoming better. For some, it's contribution, knowing that their life makes a difference for others. Maybe for you, it's creativity, or love, or adventure. The key is to be honest. Here's what I recommend. Take some time and make a list of the values that you feel define you at your best. Not what your parents told you should be important. Not what your boss rewards you for. Not what society praises. But what you believe matters most. When you look back at your life someday, what will you want it to have stood for? Answer that, and you're well on your way to defining your core values. Once you know them, everything changes. Decisions become clearer. You no longer ask, is this popular or will this impress people? Instead, you ask, does this align with my values? That's a powerful filter. Because here's the truth. Life offers many opportunities, but not every opportunity is your opportunity. Some things look good, but will cost you too much in terms of your principles. When you know your values, you can say no with confidence. You can walk away from the shiny distractions and focus on the path that's right for you. And here's something interesting. You don't even have to advertise your values. Live them consistently. And people will notice, they'll feel the integrity in your choices. They'll trust you because they see you don't just blow with the wind. And in a world where so many are confused, a person of values becomes a beacon. Let me give you a practical step. The next time you're faced with a big decision, career move, relationship choice, financial investment, pause and ask, which of my core values does this honor? Which does it violate? That simple question could save you years of regret. Because when your values and your choices are aligned, even challenges feel meaningful. You can endure struggle if it serves your values. But if you sacrifice them for convenience or approval, you'll carry a quiet dissatisfaction that no success can erase. So let me encourage you, don't just live by goals, live by values. Goals tell you what you want to achieve. Values tell you who you want to become. Goals may change as life changes, but values are the foundation that holds everything together. At the end of the day, your values are your true wealth. They determine whether your achievements feel empty or fulfilling. They are the compass that keeps you from drifting. Define them, live them, protect them. And you'll not only design a successful life, you'll design a meaningful one. One of the most dangerous things in life is not failure. It's automatic living. It's waking up every day and following a script that someone else handed you, without ever questioning if it's really yours. Society has a way of laying out a ready-made path. Study hard, get a degree, find a job, buy a house, pay the mortgage, work for 40 years, and then maybe enjoy retirement. Now, if that script excites you, by all means follow it. But if deep down it doesn't resonate, if it feels more like a cage than a calling, then you owe it to yourself to stop and ask, does this path truly serve me? Most people never ask that question. They're too busy running to even notice they're on a treadmill. And here's the problem with treadmills. You can run hard, you can sweat, you can put in endless effort, but at the end of the day, you're still in the same place. That's what happens when you live by default. You inherit beliefs, routines, and goals that may not fit who you are. You do what's expected, not what's inspired. And one day, you wake up and realize you've lived someone else's life. Rejecting the default script doesn't mean you disrespect tradition, or throw away responsibility, or live recklessly. No, it means you pause and take ownership. You examine each piece of the script and say, is this mine? Or is this just what the world told me to do? And if it's not yours, you have the courage to rewrite it. That's what designing a life really is. The willingness to become the author, not just the actor. I remember a young man who once told me, Jim, I did everything right. I got the degree. I got the job, I bought the house, but I feel stuck. I feel like I'm living in a box. And I told him, you're not stuck because life is unfair. You're stuck because you're reading from a script that doesn't belong to you. Tear it up. Write a new one. You see, it's not about being rebellious for the sake of rebellion. It's about being authentic. If the script doesn't fit you, it's time for a rewrite. Now, rewriting your script can feel risky. Friends may not understand. Family might resist. Society will definitely question you. But remember this, it's better to be misunderstood while living your truth than to be praised while living a lie. The applause of the crowd will never compensate for the silence of your own soul. Here's a practical exercise. Take a sheet of paper and write down the major scripts you're living right now. Your career path, your financial plan, your lifestyle. Then ask yourself, did I choose this consciously or did I just accept it? If it excites you, keep it. If it drains you, rewrite it. Maybe your script says you should work 9 to 5 in a job you dislike. Rewrite it to say, I will find work that energizes me. Maybe your script says you should settle for comfort instead of adventure. Rewrite it to say, I will pursue experiences that make me come alive. The truth is, life is too short to spend it on autopilot. You weren't born to fit neatly into a template designed by others. You were born to design a life that reflects your unique passions, values, and dreams. And here's the best part, when you reject the default script and dare to write your own, you give others permission to do the same. You become living proof that another way is possible. So don't just accept the role you were handed. Tear up the old lines if they don't suit you. Be bold enough to hold the pen, because life is not meant to be rehearsed. It's meant to be written fresh with your own voice on every page. Let me share something with you that I think is one of the greatest secrets to designing a life you truly love. You don't have to get it perfect on the first try. In fact, you won't. A designed life isn't built in one stroke. It's shaped through experiments. You test, you try, you explore, you adjust. And every attempt, whether it succeeds or fails, adds another brushstroke to the canvas of your chosen life. The mistake so many people make is believing they need absolute certainty before they begin. They wait for the perfect plan, the perfect timing, the perfect opportunity. But life doesn't reward waiting. It rewards movement. The only way to discover what works for you is to experiment. Try a career path. And if it doesn't fit, learn from it and pivot. Explore a new skill. And even if you fail, you carry the lesson into the next attempt. Each experiment teaches you something valuable about yourself and the world. Think of Thomas Edison. He didn't fail 1,000 times while inventing the light bulb. No, he discovered 1,000 ways that didn't work. Each experiment brought him closer to the one that did. That's the mindset of a life designer. You don't measure progress only by successes. You measure it by how much you're learning, how much closer you're getting to the life that resonates with you. Now here's the key. Don't be afraid of failure. Be afraid of stagnation. You can recover from a mistake, but you can't recover from years wasted doing nothing. Strategic experimentation means you're willing to test, to risk, to explore, but you do it wisely. You don't gamble recklessly. You design small experiments that give you feedback. You take a course, start a side project, shadow someone in a career you're curious about, travel to a place that intrigues you. These are low-risk ways of testing your hunches about what might fit your design. And remember, the purpose of experimentation is not to prove yourself. It's to discover yourself. You may try 10 things and find 9 of them aren't right. That's not wasted effort. That's progress. Because every no you uncover gets you one step closer to the yes. That will define your life. Fail fast, yes. But more importantly, learn faster. I like to think of it this way: when you're painting a picture, the first brushstroke doesn't have to be perfect. Neither does the second or the third. But as you keep adding, correcting, layering, the image begins to emerge. Life works the same way. The experiments are the brushstrokes. At first it may look messy, uncertain, incomplete, but with each attempt, the picture becomes clearer. One day you step back and realize you've painted something uniquely yours. The danger is waiting for certainty before you act. Certainty doesn't come first. Action comes first. Then clarity follows. If you sit around waiting for everything to line up, you'll miss the very experiences that would have taught you what you needed to know. So, here's a challenge this year. Design at least 3 experiments for yourself. Maybe it's trying a new business idea on the side. Maybe it's learning a new language, joining a group, testing a creative outlet you've always been curious about. Don't worry if it's the one. Just try it. See what happens. Take the feedback, adjust, and keep moving. Life is not about finding yourself in one grand revelation. It's about creating yourself through a series of experiments. Each one adds depth, color, and meaning to your story. And when you commit to experimenting strategically, you'll discover that failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of the path to success. So don't wait. Don't fear. Experiment boldly, because your life is a canvas and the brush is in your hand. If there's one investment that pays the highest dividends in life, it's not real estate, it's not stocks, it's not gold, it's you. The greatest return you'll ever get comes from investing in yourself. Because here's the truth. Skills, mindset, and resilience are the real building blocks of freedom. The stronger you become on the inside, the freer you are to shape life on the outside. You see, most people wait for circumstances to change before they take control of their lives. They hope for a better job, a better economy, a better boss, or even a lucky break. But let me tell you something. Waiting is not a strategy. You don't get freedom by waiting for the outside world to improve. You get freedom by improving yourself. Think about skills. The marketplace pays for value, and value comes from skill. If you want more opportunity, become more skilled. If you want more options, expand your abilities. Don't wish for less challenge. Develop greater skill. Every new skill you acquire increases your independence. Learn to sell. Learn to lead. Learn to communicate. Learn to think critically. Each one is a key that unlocks another door. Then there's mindset. How you think determines how you live. 2 people can face the same circumstance. One sees a dead end. The other sees an opportunity. The difference is mindset. A weak mind collapses under pressure, but a strong mind uses pressure as fuel. That's why you have to feed your mind with good ideas, positive philosophies, and empowering beliefs. Because your thoughts create your world. And let's not forget resilience. Life will test you. No question about it. You'll face setbacks, disappointments, failures. But resilience is the ability to bounce back, to get up one more time than you fall. Without resilience, even great skill and a strong mindset can falter. But with resilience, you can endure storms that would crush the average person. Resilience is what allows you to keep designing your life even when the blueprint gets smudged or torn. Now, here's the key. You don't develop self-mastery in a single day. You build it daily. Through discipline. Discipline is the bridge between your vision and your reality. And the good news is, discipline doesn't have to be dramatic. It's built in small, consistent actions. Reading a few pages every day, practicing a skill every day, pushing yourself a little further every day. Do that long enough, and you become unstoppable. Some people say, Jim, isn't investing in myself selfish? And I tell them, no, it's the opposite. When you're stronger, you have more to give. When you're wiser, you can teach more. When you're healthier, you can serve longer. The best gift you can give to your family, your community, your work, is the best version of yourself. So here's what I recommend. Set aside time every day to grow. Read something that challenges your thinking. Practice a skill that increases your value. Reflect on your actions and correct your course. Treat your personal development like a savings account that compounds with interest. Because over time, the investment multiplies, and the freedom it gives you is beyond anything money alone can buy. Remember this, freedom is not handed to you. It's earned, and it's earned through self-mastery. The stronger you are within, the less the outside world can control you. The storms may come, but you won't be shaken. The obstacles may rise, but you'll find a way around them. Because when you master yourself, you become the master of your life. So don't delay, don't wish, don't wait. Start investing in yourself today, because your future, your freedom, and your fulfillment depend on it. Let me tell you something that may surprise you. No matter how strong you think you are, your environment will shape you more than you realize. You cannot design a life in isolation. You can have the best intentions, the clearest goals, the strongest vision. But if you're surrounded by people, places, and systems that pull you down, sooner or later, you'll find yourself drifting toward mediocrity. That's why one of the wisest choices you'll ever make is to create an environment that supports you, an environment that lifts you higher. Think about it. If you plant a seed in poor soil, no matter how much potential that seed has, it won't grow. But put the same seed in rich soil, with sunlight and water, and it becomes a tree. The difference wasn't the seed, it was the environment. You and I are no different. You may have incredible talent, untapped potential, dreams as big as the sky. But if your environment is toxic, negative, or stagnant, your growth will be stunted. So the first step is to take a good look around you. Who do you spend time with? Do they challenge you, encourage you, and inspire you to aim higher? Or do they drain you, discourage you, and keep you stuck where you are? One of the hardest lessons in life is this. Not everyone around you is meant to go with you on your journey. Some people are anchors, some are sails. Anchors hold you in place. Sails help you move forward. The wise thing is to know the difference and choose accordingly. Now, creating the right environment isn't just about people. It's also about places where you live, where you work, where you spend your time. All of it matters. If the space around you is cluttered, chaotic, or uninspiring, it will influence your mood, your focus, your energy. But if you intentionally design spaces that energize you, that remind you of your vision, that keep you sharp, you'll find it much easier to stay on track. And don't forget systems. Systems are the routines, the habits, the structures that either push you toward excellence or slide you back into mediocrity. If your habits work against you, redesign them. Build systems that make success easier and failure harder. For example, if you want to read more, keep books where you can see them. If you want to eat healthier, stock your kitchen with better food. If you want to exercise consistently, set your clothes out the night before. Don't rely on willpower. Design your environment so it works for you. Some people ask, Jim, what if my environment is really negative and I can't change it? And my answer is, then escape it. Don't spend your whole life trapped in a place that robs you of your potential. If you can't change the people around you, change the people around you. If you can't improve the place you're in, find a new place. Life is too short to let the wrong environment define you. Here's something powerful. When you build the right environment, growth becomes almost automatic. You don't have to fight so hard, because everything around you is pointing in the same direction. The right people cheer you on. The right places inspire you. The right systems support you. Suddenly success feels natural, not forced. So take inventory today. Look at the people in your circle. Look at the places you spend time. Look at the systems you've built. Ask yourself, do these lift me up, or do they pull me down? And if the answer is the latter, it's time for a redesign. Because here's the bottom line. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your environment. Make sure your environment is worthy of the life you're trying to design. Let me finish this thought with what I believe is the glue that holds everything together. Intentional action. You see, designing a life is not just about dreaming, planning, or talking about what could be. A designed life is not theory. It is daily practice. It's about living each day in a way that reflects your vision. Because if your actions don't match your dreams, then all you really have are wishes. Here's the truth. Life doesn't reward good intentions. It rewards intentional action. And here's the difference. Good intentions are passive, but intentional action is deliberate. It says, I know where I'm going and I will take steps today, no matter how small, to get there. That's what transforms abstract dreams into tangible reality. Think of it like this. Every day you're writing the story of your life. One choice at a time. Each decision is like a sentence. And together they form the chapters that shape your future. The question is, are you writing that story consciously, Or are you letting someone else write it for you? Intentional action means you hold the pen. You don't let circumstances, distractions, or other people's opinions dictate your story. You decide. Now, some people say, Jim, I've got big goals, but they feel so far away. And I tell them that's okay. You don't climb a mountain in one leap. You climb it step by step, each one intentional, each one in the right direction. The small things matter. The way you spend your morning, the way you treat people, the way you manage your time. Success is hidden in the little choices you make consistently, not in one dramatic moment. That one question asked daily. Here's a practical exercise. At the end of each day, take 5 minutes and review your actions. Ask yourself, did I live today in alignment with my vision? Did my choices reflect the life I want to design? If the answer is yes, celebrate. If the answer is no, adjust. Because intentionality is not about perfection. It's about course correction. You don't have to get it all right. You just have to keep steering toward your vision. And here's the beautiful thing. Once you start living intentionally, life feels different. You wake up with purpose instead of routine. You move with confidence instead of confusion. You stop drifting and start designing. People around you will notice it too. They'll say something about you has changed. And you're no longer on autopilot. You're awake, you're aware, you're intentional. So let me leave you with this thought. Dreams without action remain fantasies. But dreams with intentional action become realities. Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for permission. Today is your opportunity to live deliberately. Take your vision, take your values, take your courage, and put them into action. Because at the end of your life, you won't be remembered for what you intended to do. You'll be remembered for what you actually did. So choose wisely, act intentionally, and design a life that is worthy of the person you were meant to become. To design your life is to reclaim authorship of your existence. The world will hand you a script. If you don't, it's write your own. So write boldly, live deliberately, and let your life be a masterpiece of intention, not an accident of acceptance.